All right, we are back doing something a little different today as we have a cruise the boys and I are getting into later on tonight at the Villains Cruise. I need to do a little maintenance on the old lack. So we're taking old ratty lacks out tonight. We'll get back with you guys on some footage of that, but for now I figure right now I'm just tightening up header bolts, just making sure. But right now it's a good time to do some brake adjustments. Now, I've already done the one on the passenger side. I figure it's a good time to show you guys how to do these old school 50s brakes. It's just like any other drum brake, except they do not self-adjust.
What does that mean?
The adjustment has to be manually made, because in newer style drum brakes, you can hit the car in reverse and like slam on the brake, and it'll adjust them. I don't know if people know that or not.
Interesting.
A lot of people will know that, and some may not. That's in 70s cars, maybe some 60s cars will know. Oh. Nonetheless, here's what we are looking at. See how freely that spins? You don't want it like that. That means it takes too long for the brakes to engage.
Oh.
So let me show you something here. Let me see what we can do about that. Like I say, it's a pretty straightforward process. We have, I don't know, I'd say 60 to 70% brake pad left, or excuse me, it'd be shoe pad, because these are drums, so it would be referred to as a brake shoe. Fucking. Oh my god. Oh my god. These can be a pain in the butt sometimes. Everybody gotta love a cotter pin. Sometimes pop right out, sometimes they wrestle you. These ones are fairly new, so they should come out as long as I don't mangle them too badly. But we have brand new ones to put in if we need. Watch yourself there, woman. That one's kind of fucked up. I probably won't use it again. It's not horrible. Now these guys, oh, I forget. It's normally righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, but it's a 50s Cadillac. So on the driver's side, it's righty-loosey. This was one of the things, and it's funny that the lug nuts are normal, you know what I mean? Because you think that with this being like that, they would have done the lug nuts backwards too. But they didn't. They just did the fucking, because on like 60s Dodges and shit, the lug nuts on the driver's side are backwards. Now you want to pull your bearings out just to make sure. These are all relatively, you want to inspect them to make sure they're not going to shit and too loose, but these are all relatively new. So I just put them in 4 or 5 years ago. It should be. Hey! It should be a while until they start going to shit. And it's funny, out of everything this car had and didn't have, it was complete when I bought it. $500.
They're all over there.
Who cares? They can be over there.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll start working their way back. Out of everything the car had and didn't have, it was missing this drum, and then the engine and training. Other than that, everything was basically here. But anyway, let's get down to business. Now these springs, this is one of the reasons probably why they don't self-adjust, because the spring itself rests right on the fucking star.
Oh wow.
So I like to push it down like that. You can make it do its deal the other way, but actually, you know what, let me fucking, no, it's on there tight. Never mind. We'll just wrestle it. I was gonna pop the spring off and just do it by hand, but I want to say it's kind of funky because I think it's exactly the same as the other side, and the other side goes up. Nonetheless, you just have to rotate the star a little bit to see which way you're moving. And I can't find my fucking adjustment. There's an actual tool that comes out and has a little hook to it that makes it a little easier, but it doesn't really simplify the process on these old 50s cars. And I just need to see if I'm going in or out. You know what I should do is this right here. Give me a little bit more leverage with this other guy. I believe that is out. Okay, let me fucking slide this on here and see where we're sitting at. That might have been, it shouldn't have been too far, but if there is a chance it could have been too far. Okay, you see how we just have a little bit of resistance? Mm-hmm. That's what you want, is just barely, not too much. And while we want this out, it has grease on it and all that shit, but it's a good idea to give her some more loving. Get out of here, mutt. Look at this big hairy foot. Come here. Look at this big fuzzy wuzzy in my way. Oh.
And a 5 footer.
Okay, hey.
Nope.
Beaner.
Oh, he's just all up in here.
Oh, the bean.
He's just all up in the video.
He might have just got greasy.
That's okay. He's great anyway.
Oh, Ivy.
That's
yes,
what Dawn dish soap's for.
I
Save
love
the
you
animals.
too, Tiff. Anyway, this is a little excessive on the old grease, but it's all right. Here, we'll see.
Back up, Fiffler.
Yeah, you're not making this very easy for me, Ivy.
She says hi.
Ivy, go. Good girl. Thank you.
Nope.
Okay.
Ivy.
She's fine. They're fine. If they bark at the neighbor dog, cool fucking story. See how excited I am. Can you hand me that piece of sandpaper right behind you, please? All right. Now this is something I recommend too. I had these worked not too long ago, but it's been 5 years, so you see the cross hatching is pretty much gone. So you want to hit these with some pressure, and I got some coarse paper. You can hit them with anything like up to 80 grit. But hit these with some pressure and just scuff them up a little bit. You also do this when you're changing the pads. But on these old cars, this has 50s technology, the master cylinder leaks, yada yada. I want to give myself every fucking chance in the world to have good brakes at 100 miles an hour. And just continue around until you meet up with your scuff marks on the other side. Okay, and then do the same thing on the frictions. Now, when it comes to brakes, there's two parts, your hard parts and your frictions, your little hardware. But the hard parts are obviously all those parts that are solid and stay in place all the time. Your frictions would be your pads. These are worn down a little more than the other side, and see how they're worn more on this side than down here? That means and the same thing here, they're kind of worn a little more. It's not bad, but it's just placement and how they're fucking the wheel cylinders applying the pressure unevenly. And that could be a few months that we were driving with that low fluid in there. Now these are frictions, so they wear away when you sand them. You just lightly want to scuff those up and get them fucking a little bitey. If you can sand them all the way down to bare shits if you wished. So I would recommend not hitting them too hard. Okay, let's stuff that guy back in there. The race, Okay, that was the bearing and the bearing race, in case anybody needed that information. And like I say, it was righty-tighty, lefty-loosey on the other side, and lefty-tighty, righty-loosey on this side. Actually, let me see where my hole is. Okay. Not today. It doesn't want to go on. Looks like we're fucked, right? Enzo!
You're just whining.
Okay. And it's probably good enough to be in finger tight, but not really. You don't want to get them too tight. Just lightly snug that thing. Like, don't make it too loose. And see how all of a sudden we're spinning? We don't have any fucking friction on that guy now. It needs another adjustment. That ain't gonna work. Which it could do that. Like I say, you could have to adjust it a couple times, and it's been fucking years since I've done this.
Do you want me to hold it while you...
No, that's all right. Just go ahead and do your fucking... I mean, it would help, but go ahead and do your thing. This thing's greasy.
Doesn't look like it's moving.
It is, but I have to tap it. I need to apply some pressure. No, just a light.
Oh, there you go. You moved it a little bit. Now you're moving it.
But are we moving out?
Yes.
Or inward? It is
out.
moving out? Okay.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's going towards the screwdriver.
I can see, yeah.
Now you just moved it back.
I just moved it back. That's where we lost our adjustment. Fucking thing. Like you say, it's just enough to be irritating to be a wrestling match. See how it moves it away and then back?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like to get rid of that thing in the equation there. What'd you do that for?
I didn't mean to. I tried to set it down so I could help you. Did you get it? Yes, you got it.
I may possibly have. Listen to that big scary guy over there. Hey, Bean! Enzo!
That's what we call a mean
If
bean.
you wonder why he gets the Beaner and the Bean name, it's because we call him Enzo Bean. He's still a stud muffin, though. Yeah, he is. Even though he's minus his nuts nowadays. But the puppies are his. We did let him have some puppies before that happened.
Mom and Dad, and there's a baby. There's a one baby. The black and white one, too, is the baby.
It's still not quite there. I want a little bit more resistance. We want it to where it doesn't freely spin.
It's kind of not freely spinning.
It's still spinning. You don't want it to just keep rotating. You want it to, like, stop itself. Now, the other one I fucking adjusted in half the time. And you only had to pull the motherfucking thing off once.
Because we weren't doing a video.
Yeah,
I'm just joking.
that's what it is. Old Murphy's Law.
Oops.
Old Murphy's Law.
Why didn't I think this?
And the other side wasn't doing me like this. This side is adjusting back when the spring hits it. And like I say, that other side, I'm just starting to get greasy hands there. The other side wasn't doing this as dirty. This side is foul. which is funny because you see how you have to wrestle it on, and then you get it up here and it fucking
freely spins.
We may even want to go just a little harder than that, just because when we get it up in place, it'll probably...
Beans?
They're just wrestling?
I think so.
As long as he doesn't feel like he has to be the hall monitor. He's got his sash on this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Old hall monitor Enzo Bean has things under control.
He reminds me of like Officer Court.
He's horrible some days, that's for sure, little fucking guy.
He's like the big old pit bull.
Definitely can't get away from anything. No unauthorized play from the other dogs.
No. And in high school, that's how Cork was.
Yeah, for sure.
Anytime you left the
now,
school.
you want to make sure that when you're throwing these parts on the ground, it's not
on the ground.
Well, you can be okay, but just don't throw them into the rocks or throw them into something that's we have
dusty and icky.
Oh, whoops! What am I thinking? I'm thinking righty tighty, lefty loosey. But oh, come on, not the case. It must have a round end of the fucking thread. Must be round because it doesn't grab the bolt very well, or excuse me, doesn't grab the nut very well.
Well, that's round.
It's yeah. Well, that will be round, but I'm saying the top of the thread.
Makes sense. There you go. Is that what you want?
That is what I want.
Not to move?
Not to be just a free spinning turd. And I may have just went too far with that. Like I say, you don't want to just crank these parts on. They just need to be nice and snug. Oh, it's perfect. But that thing's a piece of shit. I will be right back. Oh, I'm too old for this shit.
Be nice.
Oh. Yeah, he's a dickhead, but it's alright. As long as he's not being serious, he's alright. And at the moment, he's not being serious. Enzo! Hey! Stop! Okay. Back to business. Back to business. That's pretty much it. Like I say, you just want to make sure that you have a little resistance like that. Now, as you drive, the brakes are going to wear right in. You know what I mean? They'll, whatever this little resistance is from spinning it will wear off relatively quick.
Rollo!
So you just want it to where the brake pads, or excuse me, the shoes are as close as they can be so you can apply pressure as soon as possible. And this is right in the good area. Now, if you go with a little bit more resistance than this, you're going to heat your brakes up. And you don't want to do that because you're going to start with brake fatigue right out of the gate. And they're too hot and they're weak and they barely work to begin with. Excuse me. Anyway, that's it. We're done. Boopa! We're done. I'm going to get the wheel back on this brioche. And actually get back with you in a minute. I had my tuner come tune our two-step or our anti-lag, our launch control, whatever you want to call it. Are you recording me or recording the ground?
I'm recording you.
Are you? Because it looked like you got my knee. At least don't worry about the dogs. At least they know what my pant leg looks like.
Whatever it was.
Okay, it's fine. You're fine, woman. Do you know what it isn't? The end of the world.
You sound like someone who is got a big head.
Got a what?
Nothing.
Is you talking shit? You got your little shit talker fucking flapping?
I think.
Anyway, you stink? Or what did you just say?
Shut up. I do not.
I'm just teasing you. Anyway, I'm gonna get back with you here in a minute. I'll get this guy all snugged on and fucking parked. I'll warm this up, and then we'll let you hear how rowdy the two-step got. It's a little bit rowdier, definitely. We're going to take this thing to the Coeur d'Alene cruise later on. Coeur d'Alene.
Tonight?
In Coeur d'Alene, yes. The DeVillen guys. No brioches allowed. I figure you and Mason and I can go cruising tomorrow night. So tell him, get his little snotty ass ready. He's going cruising whether he fucking wants to or not. Old prick. Anyway, excuse my French.
You guys are all really going with no girls?
Yeah.
What a bunch of assholes.
You. Fuck you.
Yeah, you heard me say it. YouTube.
You guys will survive. Doesn't mean we won't come back with girls. Going with anyway.
Good luck to all of you.
Back to driving our cars is what we were actually doing. We're gonna have Forrest fucking try to do some drone footage from in the car. We'll see how well that works out. He did it yesterday, and I was doing like 50 in the truck. He kept up with us pretty well, but it killed his battery pretty fast. And the thing returned home. It returned back to where we left. Anyway, let me warm this thing up so the two-step will work, and then we'll let you hear what that sounds like. Other than that, I'll probably grab some footage of the show later, and we'll go from there. You pause it?
No.
You pause it? Okay. We're probably warm enough to hit this. Let's say we'll just let you hit the two-step, the anti-lag, whatever.
I'm standing right here.
You may as well stay.
Oh, you're not going to do it again?
No, it's all right. It's good and rowdy. But when she's full banging at the loud banging at the end of it, we're at 10 pounds of boost. So you can imagine what that does when we want to take off from the line.
It pops your ears.
Like, share, subscribe, and check back with your boy later.